Well, that's all I've got time for tonight. Oh, God. Sorry I'm so late, people. Yeah. I had to wait for my laptop to update. I had a few problems there. Sorry about that. Ironic chimes. Thanks for hanging around though, thanks for waiting for me. Solidari-Tea for that. That's dedication, people. Yeah, you know that experiment in Back to the Future at the beginning with the clocks? I was doing that one. They're all exactly 25 minutes slow. Worked out a treat. Right, we better get a swift move on them, people. What's coming up? I've got more exclusive footage from the weekend for you. I've also got, yeah, we've got the Canadian election to go through. A bit about the locals as well. You nearly sent out a search party. Yeah, I'm doing well. Obviously, because it was updating, I couldn't get on and post about it, so apologies for that. Mountain Rescue, yeah, good one, good one. I hope you've all been hitting the thumbs up button in my absence and other such things. Giving the radio silence a share around your social media. Yeah, check this out, it's great, and then just radio static. So yeah, there's a poll up. People, I want your genuine thoughts more than your hopes. Because there's, yeah, 6 of those are up for grabs. And some of them are in pretty tight run seats according to the polls, so we'll see. I think overall, though, it has to be admitted by all accounts that Reform probably will get the most seats. That's unfortunate, obviously, this being a socialist channel. All about things from a left-wing perspective and point of view, so... but we still do encourage people to get out there and vote differently. But just what's getting me recently, I saw Aaron Bastani doing some Vox Pops earlier. There've been some comments on the last couple of videos that I've done as well. Classic responses, really. What can I say? So the right obviously focus on deprived areas and they blame migrants for the problems and all these people who get interviewed and whatnot in the late 50s, early 60s, get nostalgic about, you know, decades gone by, whatever it might be, you know, 60s right through to 90s, depending on who you ask, that kind of thing. And it's all the same, and oh, it used to be great, and da-da-da, and now look at it, and it's their fault, and they're taking on the establishment, da-da-da. It's how that they're convinced that they'll represent the working class that really, really frustrates me. Because what Reform are doing are classic right-wing tactics. Still, people aren't enlightened enough in this day and age to see through that, to see beyond that. Ignore the mainstream media, ignore the xenophobia, the the race baiting, they're pointing at the shore, and it's their fault. People who have all their belongings and everything they own in a rucksack on a very poorly made raft trying to make their way across the English Channel. It's definitely their fault, it's not billionaires in private jets. And they think a privately educated stock market trader will somehow represent them. So do keep your votes coming on the poll. I'll try and remember to read out the results at the end, which I forgot to do on the last one. So let's give a shout out to the members, and then I'll reveal the latest total. This is the very latest roster. Did we get over the 100 on yesterday's stream though? Well, that depends on how many people renewed. Thanks a lot if you've gifted a membership recently or just joined for the first time, but equal congratulations and thanks to everybody on the list. So we're seeing if we got over the 100. Did we make the ton? Hey Mo, hope you're doing well. Let's give a shout out to a few more of you in the chat actually as well, whilst we're doing shout outs. A lot of you are on this list as well, so you're going to double shout outs. We've got a doctor in the house, Dr. Davies, Floor Snake, Chris, Desdog. Good to see you as well. No, I wasn't in Spain. Okay, thanks again members. I'll bring you people up in the chat now. Let's see on the screen there. Alright. What else did I want to point out as well? Oh, I know that we've got quite a few regular viewers from the northeast as well. We're coming to you from the northwest, but a great speech that you're going to hear later on. Some more exclusive footage as well, I should say, if you're from the northeast. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you support Palestine as well. I did see some flags and watermelons up early on in the chat as well, thanks a lot for that. Right, let's dive in. I'll just be catching up with a few stories tonight and then get on to a bit more of that footage as I just mentioned. We've all hit the buttons, yeah? We're all good to go? All set? Okay. Give us a share on your social media as well at MyLeftRUK and follow us. Well, that's it. Just jump over to the screen. Oh, actually, before I do that, yeah, let's... I'll reveal now the members total, which is, drum roll, it's 74. Unfortunately, not everybody renewed. There must have been quite a few of them up for renewal over the weekend. So apologies. We didn't quite make the 100. Wasn't sure about that on yesterday's stream. But thanks a lot to the 74 of you. Right, I'm going to go over to the screen now. I'm not sure if the background music and one or two other things might cut out temporarily, but don't worry, it's not a full technical issue. I was just in a bit of a rush there. It's okay. It's not Armageddon. Don't worry. I'll just keep things going here. There we go. And the chart, of course. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get straight into the election in Canada. Straightforward. I mean, there's not a lot more to say than what we said yesterday. You may as well have flipped a coin over who would have won. And now, you know, all they're talking about is tariffs and Trump and how they're going to be doing the best to stand up to him, so that's all people are asking about it as well. But well, it's clear to see why 3/4 of the goods are exported across the border there, as you can see. There's a 60 billion tariff on US goods that Canada have put up. The US is still pushing the join us, become the 51st state thing. That's not going to happen however bad this trade war gets. But yeah, we could be about to sign a deal with Canada as well, according to Reeves. Rachel Reeves. That's only a suggestion. It's not been arranged, negotiated, or anything. There is going to be a 90-day pause on some of the tariffs. It just reminds us there. Of course, there's that G7 summit coming up in Canada as well. That's in June. That could be where things either start to calm down a bit, or perhaps they could boil over again. Of course, the tariffs were in the news every day for weeks, weren't they? It's sort of settled down a bit for now, and you never know with Trump. He could get out of bed and change his mind the opposite way one day to the next. So that's just about it. Did I mention it's the 4th time in a row that the Liberals have won? That's unprecedented. That's just about the most interesting thing there is to it. Mark Carney, of course, being former governor of the Bank of England also. You know how life is. One minute you're governor of the Bank of England, the next minute you're president of Canada. It's just sort of, you know, standard. I mean, that pretty much sums up my career as well. I don't know about you people. Like, where have you people been presidents of, and which banks have you been running? I've just noticed, well, you can't see it at the side on the top stories thing that's come up. I might take a look at that later. Just interesting. Tony Blair's popped his head out on net zero apparently, and said that the policies are doomed to fail. Now, I don't back net zero, but not for the same reason that the far right do. Probably Blair as well. Where I'm seeing things, it's an accountancy scam. So I might take a quick look at that later on. Might try and pad the stream out a little. But I was on a bit late. That's another good example, Mo. Yeah, one day you're working in Halifax, call centre, wasn't it? Manager at a call centre, Rachel Reeves. I was the manager in a call centre. That was a pretty poor. I've done better than that before. Yeah, and now Chancellor of the Exchequer. Yeah. Got other people, you know, had a paper round. Or conveniently, you know, family's wealthy as well. Next thing you know, I own a blood diamond mine. It's funny what life throws at you, isn't it? Yes, that's Tony Blair I was referring to just a moment ago, Floor Snake. Oh yeah, he's still an absolute arsehole. I think you're quite right as well. The thing is, the mainstream media still go to him as some sort of seer, you know, tell us, oh sage wise one, what will come of this, you know. Everything went so well when you were in charge, you know, they idolise him that much. You're talking to a guy, or the reporters are talking to a guy who stood down so that he could pass the buck on to Gordon Brown to take that massive walloping in the general election with his with the opinion polls absolutely tanking, especially circa Iraq invasion, of course. And now they want to like take his advice on everything. Next little bit here. And well, Northumbria again featuring. It's going to be quite a northeast based one tonight, isn't it? So, do you remember the sycamore tree and these two dickheads chopped it down? The world awoke one morning to the news that this had been done, this ancient, locally famous, well, landmark, semi-landmark, I guess you could call it. Not so much a, you know, a tourist attraction, but it was in a dip on Hadrian's Wall and had been there for more than 100 years. And they felled it in September 2023. And you've got two in the dock. You've got Daniel Michael Graham, 39, from Carlisle, and Adam Carruthers, who's 32, from Wigton in Cumbria. Both deny 2 counts of criminal damage. That's where the Roman Empire ended. That's why I'm voting reform. And that's why I'm voting reform. Yeah. So the jury's also seen footage, apparently. I didn't know that there was like this kind of evidence floating around. It was a mystery at the time as to what might have happened. So apparently there was some footage of this, cutting the base of the tree. You know, is this the kind of thing where they've filmed it themselves to sort of try and gloat about it to the mates and stuff, and then they've been found out? I wouldn't put it past them, because as you might have read at the top of the article there, they kept part of the tree as a trophy. That's just ridiculous, just senseless. So you can clearly hear the voices on the video as well. It doesn't look like they've got much of a defence from what this says. Yeah, so well, looks like they banged to rights. Just thought I'd bring you up to speed with that one. And we appear to have a Scot in the chat as well. So you don't sound too impressed by that either, no, definitely not. Straight out of Darwin's waiting room. Yeah, it's just like, it's disgusting, you know. People have a go at what JSO and people do in terms of stunts and things. There's a lot more thought put into that, of course. This was totally thoughtless, totally senseless, totally meaningless. Yeah, and it's just a simple part of nature that people enjoy, and they can't respect that. So what are you thinking, people? Custodial? A big fine? I would hazard, I mean, okay, so not for doing the same sort of thing, of course, but I've got criminal damage on my rap sheet, gotta be honest. I would say most likely the outcome will be a fine in the thousands, definitely, going into maybe tens of thousands, and at least something like hefty community service going to low-level custodial of whatever weeks. I'm not sure. That's just off the top of my head, but let me know what you think. And Hetty's joined us as well, I should have said. I hope I've given most of you a shout out as you've arrived. So let's crack on. Yeah, let's stay up in that area of the world. So that was Hadrian's Wall. As I said, we've got quite Geordie following here on my left eye. It's great to have viewers from all over the UK and indeed the world as well, but this is something I'm sure you'll definitely enjoy. A great speech as well. So this is someone who I've known for a few years and campaigned with for a few years. I gave a speech outside Shell HQ. We saw some of that on yesterday's footage. This is, again, exclusive footage by yours truly. And a great speech that includes the achievements of JSO. Also going forward what organisations like Youth Demand, which David's also part of, as am I, as well as Youth Demand do a great deal to say on Palestine. So I'm sure you'll be getting those flags and watermelons up as we get through this clip, people. And let's see what's happening. So again, just before I start the clip, a reminder that there is the members only series on the channel if you want to check that out, and there will be a full episode all about this final march coming up soon. So this is David Curry, great lad.
Scary up here. Hello everyone, my name is David and today I have the pleasure of speaking on behalf of the Youth Demand campaign. It's an absolute honour to speak at the last action of what has been nothing less than the most successful civil resistance campaign in modern history. I got involved in late 2022 where I was met with a community of the most kind, brave and resilient people I have ever met. And I was lucky enough that they empowered me into stepping up into resistance. And today is about not only celebrating all that we have achieved, but also remembering the sacrifice that every single one of us here has put into this campaign, and all of those who are still in prison have too. So let's just give it up for them. And in early 2024, energised by all that we had learned and experienced within Just Stop Oil, a small group of Just Stop Oil students went to form Youth Demand, a sister campaign to Just Stop Oil, sitting within the wider umbrella structure. And we were fueled by the rage of watching the genocide of the Palestinian people unfold and set up this campaign. Now, as was just mentioned, we have two clear demands of the UK government. First of all, we want a full trade embargo with Israel, nothing less. And second of all, we demand tax on the fossil fuel giants such as those sat in this building and the economic elite to fund $1 trillion in climate damages for the most vulnerable people in the global south. And it's super important that we fight for these issues alongside each other, because it's the same companies who are making money off setting fire to the global south who are profiting off the genocide of the Palestinian people. And both crises are just symptoms of the same broken imperialist system which is built upon colonialism and is reproducing these same colonial relationships in the name of nothing other than profit. Shame! Shame! And so it is crucial at this time that we broaden the frame beyond climate, beyond Palestine, and look to the root cause, which is a broken capitalist economic system and a rotten political system. and we need to keep going until we replace it with a system which is run by the people, for the people, nothing less. And built upon this understanding, we've been fighting tirelessly for over a year now to hold our genocidal government accounts. Some highlights include spraying up the Ministry of Defence, spraying up Labour headquarters, giving Keir Starmer a visit, even taking a shit in Rishi Sunak's lake. And most recently, this April, we've been engaged in daily disruptive actions right at the belly of the beast here in London to put pressure on our government and spark national conversations about how our government is actively fueling genocide in Palestine. And in the last 3 weeks, we've done over 70 actions. 70 actions in cause of destruction, putting pressure on the state. Now, we proved that we were a real threat before we even did anything. I think a lot of people here will have seen, only a few weeks ago now, when we were doing a welcome talk at Westminster Quakers House, the Met Police kicked the door down with over 20 officers, arrested every single person in attendance, then went on to raid their homes, some of them in student halls. We say shame on you to the Met. But we will not be silenced. We will not be silenced. We will continue to resist until our demands are met and beyond. And this is why we're here today. We are not going to stop. We are going to carry this flame, this inspiration that everyone in this beautiful movement gave us. We're going to carry it forward, and we're going to continue to resist. We're going to continue to hold our government to account. So the last thing I want to say is, please, everyone, come and join us. We are led by young people, but we are fueled by everyone. And we need every single person to come down, join us, cause disruption, and bring attention to the genocide that our government is actively fueling. So everyone, please come along. Our next big open event is going to be on the 24th of May in central London, 3 till 8 p.m. Have a look on the Instagram for the location. It's not being announced yet. And yeah, it would be sick to see everyone down here. But thank you again, everyone, for all that you have done and for the amazing display of solidarity that we've displayed today. Thank you so much.
David Curry there. Really good speech. I'm sure you'll agree. He's a really good guy as well. I love that guy. Tommy, those aren't JSO's buses, those are just ordinary tourist buses. That's right in front of Victoria Park, which has the London Eye in it. So you'll often see coaches there. No, that wouldn't be great optics, but we didn't park them there, that's for sure. So you heard what the demands were there, including a full trade embargo with Israel, something I'm sure that everybody watching will support. Lots more content like that will be in the final version as part of the members only series, so just another perk of being a member here on My Left Eye. That's great advice, Stu. Break that like button. But don't break it so that you can only press it once and then can't press it again. Do press it though. Just the once. Lest you accidentally unlike it. Or just hit it an odd number of times. Okay? Okay, people, speaking of environment and climate, I'll just very briefly say this. Sorry if you're watching from abroad. It's a terribly British thing to talk about. No, it's a climate thing more than a weather thing, but it has been the hottest day of the year so far as we come into spring. But nearly 25 degrees, and it's not even May. You've got to say that that isn't particularly normal. It's obviously nowhere near 40 degrees that we had in 2022. But still way above average. And that was seen in Ross-on-Wye, which is in the West Midlands. There you go. Yeah, just very quickly about that. It could stay for a while. We've got 1st of May coming up, which just happens to be International Workers' Day, people. Workers of the world unite. Solidarity. But they'll also have their eyes on the thermometers. And I guess spring will just keep getting redder and redder on average. This is it with climate trends. They do wobble up and down, but the extreme highs and the averages get higher as you go along, as it does that at the same time. So don't worry, this isn't like Radio 4 or anything. I'm not going to ask you to get in touch and let us know what it was like where you are. Or they'll have, what would it be on? They'll show some pictures on the weather of, you know, Pamela from Surrey's garden, one of her gardens. Something like that, you know. It is getting hot out there. It certainly is. It's not normal. And it is human caused. Just turn the background music down a little bit there. Sorry, that was a bit overbearing. Good to see you as well, Super. And you're right about the water bills there, Mo. Here's how, you know, so bad capitalism is. They manage to charge us an absolute fortune for something that falls out of the bastard sky. You don't have to you don't have to dig it out of the ground or anything, or manufacture it. It literally falls out of the sky as part of a systemic weather cycle. So, yeah, obviously there's a filtration and purification process and whatnot. However, things being as they are, there's no reason that it shouldn't be either abundantly cheap or absolutely free. It covers a large portion of the Earth, and that's also rising as well. Well, in the form of liquid anyway. The ice reduces as sea levels rise, of course. Right, I won't get sidetracked with that one. I remember the 40 as well, and that wasn't just an outlier on one day of the week. it was mid to high 30s surrounding that as well, wasn't it? I remember, and it was, you know, will it get over 40? It was at it was in London, close to London, where it was recorded. But the same year as well, and the year after, I think the land temperature in Spain got to 60 as well. And I've found myself over the years, especially the last few years, increasingly astonished by these new barriers that are being broken, these new records that are being set. Things are coming to pass that cannot be undone. And it is very worrying. I mean, I'm very proud to have taken action against it, you know, to put myself out there. But there's still a lot more to be done. Be very egotistical. There'd be a lot of hubris there if thought that it was just all about one campaign. This is a global issue. It's something that's going to affect us all. And as I said, yeah, we've still got to get through to the politicians, so I wasn't sure I'd start off such a spontaneous chat about water. Oh, that's great to see you. H2O. Oh yeah, you were talking earlier, some of you mentioned that Louis Theroux documentary. I've still yet to see that. I will be watching that. I've still got to catch up with the main part of another doc that came out as well. As well, let you know, it's all about the illegal occupiers and settlers, isn't it? I do know that he hit a nerve because there was an immediate knee-jerk response, wasn't there, from the Zionists? You know, he makes us look bad for illegally occupying this land and killing thousands and thousands and thousands of people. How dare he? This should be banned. Oh, and we think he's a racist. And he's also, you know, Louis Theroux's glasses. Louis Theroux's glasses are made of Hamas. Yeah. I asked David Mensa myself and Tsipi Hotoveli, and they both confirmed it. Yeah. That's a good point there, Hedy, about police reaction, court reaction as well to protests in support of Palestine, environmental protests, this kind of thing. Believe you me, I know a lot about that. I mentioned knee-jerk reactions earlier and overreach, this kind of thing. That's precisely what we're seeing. That's exactly what's happening. And we've been saying for years that is in JSO. And even the Met themselves have said that they're not going to arrest the way out of this. You know, it's just not possible. I remember when I first saw Louis Theroux's documentaries, just the awkwardness of him. I'll be honest, it kind of put me off a little bit how he definitely has this sense of naivety about him in his line of questioning. Yeah, certainly 100%, and he, to anybody who doesn't know him, would come across as perhaps someone who came down with the last drop of rain, you know, just landed on this planet yesterday. Just very basic questions. They're never long-winded and convoluted, labyrinthian questions that he asks. So it's pretty straightforward in the sense of, you know, why do you do such a thing? Why do you like such a thing? When did you start such a thing? Where and this? He allows people to reveal themselves a lot more. And when you actually realise that's what he's doing, as opposed to just literally being very wooden, passive and low-key, you know, that he does encourage people who are the subjects of the documentary to talk more, to express themselves more, perhaps get on the high horse, give something away that they've never said before, or just really bare their soul. But he generally, as is in this case, it's a sort of expose piece, and that is exactly what he's hoping for. I guess what a good documentarian, pardon me, would always like to see, you know. It is effective. It is effective. And there have been some weird ones, haven't there? I can't say that I've seen every single one of them, but it depends on who Louis interviewing himself. I'll definitely check that one out. It's just called The Settlers, isn't it? I believe. Yes, he is Jewish, and that is proper Jewish, not a Zionist. What was the one he... Oh, it was a Las Vegas one. He spoke to one of these career gamblers or gambling addicts or whatnot. Didn't he sort of follow them around for a few days and sort of what they were up to, and watch them piss the money down the drain because they're absolute awful gamblers? So that was one of the first ones I remember seeing from Louis Theroux, who's had enough of a free plug on tonight's Brews at 10. So sorry about that. We had to get on a bit of a tangent. We're at risk of... Oh no,
We apologise for the interruption of this broadcast while Lefty goes off on a tangent. He's been given a cup of tea and will be back with you shortly. In the meantime, make sure you've hit the thumbs up button and left a comment down below. Thank you for your patience.
I'd say that was only an Amber Alert. I think that was a bit tight. I'm staring at Phil, the producer who doesn't speak, but definitely exists. That was a bit early. Go on then, I guess I'll bite at this net zero thing. God, he ages by the hour, doesn't he, Tony Blair? I've just seen, look at this. Ghoulish. That's like his soul has obviously been extracted, as you can see confirmation of just there. Slick Tony apparently used to be his nickname. Right, so what's he said? Arsehole. So he says it's doomed to fail. He's talking about financial sacrifices, yada yada yada. But he says that the current implementations aren't working, or the approach isn't working. So here we go. Well, it's unfortunate to say, but he is correct to the extent that the Tony Blair Institute is saying that global institutions such as COP and the United Nations have failed to make sufficient progress in halting climate change. He doesn't, I mean, I could have told you that all day, but he doesn't provide any solutions to that. He just says, you know, another direction, a new strategy. That's what we'll hear. We've got to think differently. And then, well, people call him a genius, point at thing that doesn't work and say, let's do it differently. Hey, you know what? You're so clever. But at the same time, he says he's not rejecting net zero targets. That's a representative, Lindy Fersman, who's Director of Climate and Energy Policy at the Tony Blair Institute. Well, I know someone who's Director of Climate and Energy at the Tyndall Centre in Manchester and is a former government advisor to Tony Blair himself and the United Nations, and he would tell you something a little bit different. I'll tell you why it actually doesn't work. In case you've not heard me say this before, it's just essentially about kicking the can down the road in terms of responsibility for who extracts fossil fuels. And if we, for example, take, I'll use a classic example, oil out of the North Sea and we sell it to China, then we can blame China who consume it for the CO2 output, even though we're the ones who, you know, created the opportunity for it to be used in the first place. So there's essentially no accountability for us, but all of the responsibility would be with China. Point being, as the buck's being passed around the world, it does nothing to reduce the actual carbon output. It's like a ridiculous game of musical chairs where they're just sort of hoping that they're not left with the dicks in the hand when the music stops, when the climate collapses. So that whoever rules the land of the ashes will be able to say, well, God, you know, it was their fault. Pretty much. Because they've got to keep those profits rolling in, people. Right, I'll get this bastard's face off the screen. I can't take much more of that, I'm sorry. Time to change the music up, people. I want your suggestions for tea-based puns in songs and artists. We've got the latest edition of the Brews at 10, the album out, volume 4. So let's see what's happening, people. Put them in the comments. That's the easiest way for me to check them out. But if you're watching live and can't get to the comments, just put them in the chat there.
Do you like a hot tasty beverage with your music? Then my left eye has got a treat for your ears. The Brews at 10, the album, all your favourite beverage-based hits from the 1960s to now, all in one place.
Volume 4 is now available. Featuring Only Brew, The Platters, Tease Me, Chakademus and Pliers, Don't Look Back into the Sun, The Libertines, Bruce Wade Brews, Elvis Presley, I've Got Darjeeling, The Black Eyed Teas, plus many more. Order now.
Right, so thanks again for your contributions on the titles and artists there. I've included a few of those in Volume 4. Yeah, Heady, it's 74. It looks as though quite a few people didn't renew, having been gifted memberships. I guess you will have random people who don't unfortunately watch the streams who get gifted memberships. Perhaps it's not on a suitable time for them, or whatever it might be, but yeah, it's down to 74 unfortunately. Just looking at a couple more things in the chat there. I think you're right there. Yeah, Odin with the carbon credits. Well, that and net zero sort of go hand in hand as well. It's sort of trophies, aren't they? Little tokens, little gestures for actually achieving nothing. Countries can buy their way out of responsibility, essentially, you know. Yeah, so I think what it was, Heady, and I'll actually just bring up the members roster now. It would be something along the lines of 2 successive live streams. Maybe there were, you know, a total of about 20 gifted memberships over 2 or 3 days. But unfortunately, most of those people haven't renewed. Well, we've got one there by the specials. Too much, too young. Too much, too young, or too much, too. Thanks for that one, Des. Alright, thanks again members, thanks a lot for your support, thanks for gifting members, those of you who have, thanks to those who have renewed, but unfortunately we've just fallen below that goal of 100 again. So now let's see the result of the poll. You can see up there. Have you all voted? I'll tell you what, I'll just give you another moment in case you've not voted since you joined us live. and then I'll share my thoughts with you. I didn't want to influence anybody before it closed. And whilst I'm just giving you a few moments to do that, I'll see who'll be available when we come to end the stream. Well, we've got No Justice live, so I'll be popping over to see you on No Justice with Eleanor after the stream. Stick around, people. Alright. Tommy, have you voted? Come on, people. There's a poll at the top of the chat if you look up. You should just see it at the top, underneath, where it says live chat or top chat. Voting poll. It should have come up when you came into the chat, actually. So, okay, I'll do a final countdown from 5, 4, 3, the polls are closing, 2, 1. And the results are in, people. It was 50-50 at the end of the day. But not down the middle. Well, there were 3 options, as you can see there. Reform lead with 50%, Green Party 21%, but interestingly, other 28%. So, I'm assuming you mean the Tories or Labour there. Were there some protest votes in there? Were there some spoiled ballots? Right, open the box. Okay, what have we got here? What have we got here? Okay, I've got one here, and you've just... okay, that's not nice. That's not nice. It just says, fuck you, Lefty. That's... I mean... come on, this is supposed to be democracy, people. Let's be a bit more mature about it. By the way, don't forget to go out and buy Volume 4 of the Brews at 10 album. I am only joking. It's not actually available anywhere. Personally, well, it looks like the Greens are at least going to get that West Midlands one, as we saw. There's some new seats out there, so that's something to consider. A lot of the hype seems to be behind reform at the moment, but I think you've got to stay optimistic. So I think overall, in terms of gains in the locals, it will be reform, but for these 6 specific mayoral seats, I think it'll be a bit more contested. So I would say if it is reform, it's going to be marginal. Same for if it is the Greens. So good luck in those other ones. Some of the ones we saw yesterday, there was only a few percent in it, so further swings of just a few percent could do it. And the votes will be in 48 hours, people. It'll be like when Manuel takes over Faulty Towers. Yeah, I've seen Faulty Towers. Oh, there was a story. Oh, what was it? What was it? It was about John Cleese and he's got so many ex-wives apparently that he no longer owns a house or a car. He's pretty much been bankrupted. That was the main bit of the story. Alright people, we'll raid into Helena. I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot for joining me on another Brews at 10. We've got PMQs tomorrow, so if you're not going to be hanging around for no justice, which I strongly recommend by the way, then I'll see you tomorrow. Take care people, my Lefty, I'll be seeing you soon. Make sure you hit the thumbs up once we get over to Helena as well people. Just a reminder, Free Palestine, power to the people. Good night.